This gate is as close as you will ever get to the most secret military base on Earth. Cross that line, and armed guards appear out of nowhere. This frozen vault was built to survive the end of the world, and it stays locked even against most of the scientists who filled it. And this tiny island may be the most dangerous place a human being can stand, because the people who live there have made one thing clear. No one is welcome. From a tomb sealed behind rivers of liquid mercury, to an island crawling with thousands of venomous snakes, these are the 12 forbidden places on Earth you are not allowed to visit. And number 1 is so protected, it is illegal to even sail near it. Let's begin. Number 12. Area 51. Deep in the Nevada desert lies a base so secret the United States government denied it even existed until 2013, when declassified CIA documents finally admitted the truth. This is where the U-2 spy plane and stealth aircraft were developed, far from curious eyes. The base sits inside restricted airspace that pilots call the box, and a dry lake bed beside it hides one of the longest runways in the world. You can drive the lonely desert highway right up to the boundary, but that is where your journey ends. Motion sensors track every step, cameras watch from the hills, and the signs leave no doubt. Deadly force is authorized. Number 11. The Svalbard Global Seed Vault. Halfway between mainland Norway and the North Pole, a concrete wedge juts out of a frozen mountainside. Behind that door, buried deep in the permafrost, sleep more than 1.3 million seed samples, backup copies of the crops that feed humanity. If war, disaster, or climate catastrophe ever wipes out a harvest, the seeds waiting here can restart it. That is why almost nobody is allowed inside. Not tourists, not journalists, not even most researchers. The vault opens its doors only a few times a year, and it has been used exactly once. When war destroyed a seed bank in Syria, scientists came here to the vault at the end of the world. Number 10. The Grand Shrine of Ise, the holiest place in all of Japan. Hidden inside a sacred cedar forest, this shrine is said to house the sacred mirror of the sun goddess Amaterasu, a treasure so holy it has never been shown to the public. Ordinary visitors, and that includes prime ministers and celebrities, can only peek at the rooftops from behind 4 wooden fences. Only senior priests and members of the imperial family may step inside. And here is the strangest part. Every 20 years, the entire shrine is torn down and rebuilt from scratch, exactly as it was, a cycle that has repeated for around 1,300 years. The old shrine dies, the new one is born, and the mystery inside stays hidden. Number 9. Bhangarh Fort in Rajasthan, India, the only place in the country where entry is forbidden by law after sunset. By day, this 17th century fort city is stunning. Temples, palaces, and market streets carved from golden stone, slowly being swallowed by the jungle. But when the sun goes down, government signs order everyone out, and the gates stay sealed until sunrise. Legend claims a sorcerer cursed the entire city, dooming it to ruin, and locals swear that anyone who spends the night never comes back. Skeptics blame wild animals and crumbling walls instead. Either way, the Archaeological Survey of India is not taking chances, and after dark, Bhangarh belongs to no one. Number 8. Fort Knox. This squat granite fortress in Kentucky guards roughly 147 million ounces of gold, about half of everything the United States owns. The numbers are absurd. Walls of solid granite, a blast-proof vault door weighing more than 20 tons, and an entire army base with tanks and attack helicopters right next door. No tour has ever been offered, and no member of the public has ever walked its vault. In its entire history, outsiders have been allowed in only twice. A group of journalists and members of Congress in 1974, and a handful of officials in 2017. Even most presidents of the United States have never seen this gold with their own eyes. Number 7. Niihau, the forbidden island of Hawaii. In 1864, a wealthy widow named Elizabeth Sinclair bought this entire island from the King of Hawaii for $10,000 in gold, and her family has owned it ever since. Today, a small community of native Hawaiians lives here much as their ancestors did. No hotels, no paved roads, no crowds, and Hawaiian is still the language of daily life. The Robinson family keeps the island sealed off to protect that way of life. So unless you receive a personal invitation, the closest you will ever get is the view from the neighboring island of Kauai, 17 miles across the channel, looking at a Hawaii frozen in time. Number 6. Poveglia, a tiny island in the Venice Lagoon that Venetians refused to set foot on. For centuries, this was where the city sent its plague victims. Ships suspected of carrying disease were quarantined here, and thousands of people were buried in its soil. Then, in 1922, the island became a psychiatric hospital, whose crumbling wards still stand today, slowly collapsing into the vines. The hospital closed in 1968, and the island has been abandoned ever since. Today, visits are forbidden without special permission from the Italian authorities, and even the fishermen of Venice give its shores a wide berth. Poveglia sits within sight of one of the most visited cities on Earth, and it remains completely empty. Number 5. The Vatican Apostolic Archive. Beneath and beside the Vatican stretch 85 kilometers of shelving, holding 12 centuries of secrets. Letters from Michelangelo. The handwritten records of the trial of Galileo. The parchment on which dozens of English lords begged the Pope to annul the marriage of Henry VIII. For 400 years, it was called the Secret Archive, and no outsider could enter at all. Today, only a few dozen carefully vetted researchers are admitted each day, and even they cannot simply browse. You must know exactly which document you want and request it by name. Tourists are turned away without exception. Whatever else is hiding on those 85 kilometers of shelves, the Vatican is in no hurry to show us. Number 4. The tomb of China's first emperor. In 1974, farmers digging a well near Xi'an uncovered one of the greatest finds in history. An army of 8,000 life-size terracotta soldiers, every face unique. But the soldiers are just the doorstep. They guard a burial mound the size of a small mountain that has never been opened. Ancient records describe what waits inside. A map of the empire, with rivers and seas of flowing liquid mercury, and crossbows rigged to fire at intruders. It sounds like a myth, except modern soil tests found mercury levels dramatically higher than normal. China has decided the tomb stays sealed until science can guarantee that whatever lies within survives the opening. So the first emperor keeps waiting, untouched, for over 2,000 years. Number 3. The Cave of Lascaux. In 1940, 4 French teenagers followed their dog down a hole in the woods and found themselves standing inside a 17,000-year-old art gallery. Hundreds of painted horses, bulls, and stags gallop across the ceiling, so vivid they could have been painted yesterday. The cave became world famous, and that fame nearly destroyed it. 1,200 visitors a day breathed enough moisture and carbon dioxide to breed algae and crystals on the walls, and the paintings began to fade. So in 1963, France sealed Lascaux for good. Today, even scientists are allowed inside only a few days each year. Everyone else sees a millimeter-perfect replica built nearby, while the real masterpiece sleeps in the dark. Number 2. Snake Island. 20 miles off the coast of Brazil rises a beautiful green island where no civilian is allowed to set foot. And honestly, you would not want to. This is the only home of the golden lancehead, one of the deadliest vipers on the planet, and researchers estimate that in the densest spots, there is roughly 1 snake per square meter. The vipers climbed into the trees and evolved venom potent enough to drop a bird in mid-flight. The Brazilian Navy banned all civilian landings decades ago. The only people who ever step ashore are scientists with federal permits, and every expedition is required to bring a doctor. Even the island's lighthouse gave up on humans. It has been automated since the 1920s. Number 1. North Sentinel Island. In the Andaman Sea lies a small island covered in perfect, untouched rainforest, and it is the most off-limits place on planet Earth. It is home to the Sentinelese, the most isolated people in the world. Their ancestors are believed to have lived here for tens of thousands of years, and they want nothing to do with us. Nearly every attempt at contact has been met with a rain of arrows. So India drew a line in the ocean. It is illegal to come within 5 nautical miles of the shore, and patrol boats enforce it. This is not just to protect visitors. A single common cold could wipe out the entire tribe because they have no immunity to our diseases. In 2018, an American missionary ignored every warning and paid fishermen to smuggle him ashore. He never came back, and so the island remains what it has always been, a world apart, ruled by the last people on Earth to tell the rest of us no. 12 doors, and every single one of them locked. Some guard treasure, some guard secrets, and one guards the last truly free people on Earth. So here is the question. If one of these doors opened tomorrow, which one would you walk through? Tell us in the comments below. And if you cannot get enough of impossible places, watch our countdown of 10 places on Earth that do not look real, because those you can actually visit. Subscribe to Wondersphere and keep wondering.